Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome back to my vlog. Or if this is your first visit, then just plain old welcome. If you like what you see today, whether you're here for the first time or coming back, then the old thumbs up would be kind of nice to let people know that, or let YouTube know that you like the vlog. And if you could share the vlog with other people, that would be great. And of course, your comments are welcome. So let's see, what are we going to talk about today? How about let's all go to the sunny Middle East, or should I say the sunny and dysfunctional Middle East. Dysfunctional everywhere except for one country. You can probably guess what country that is, Israel. I want to talk today about something called the Nakba, N-A-K-B-A, the Nakba. Many of you are already familiar with that term, but for those of you who don't know, Nakba means catastrophe. It's a term used by the Arabs, Palestinians in Judea, Samaria, and Gaza to denote their loss of the 1948 War of Independence. They call that the Nakba. But there's another Nakba, another catastrophe that I want to talk about that I consider the real Nakba. The Nakba catastrophe that I want to talk about stems from the Holocaust. The slaughter of 6 million Jews during World War II by the Nazis. So how does that relate to the Middle East and the Nakba? The Palestinians consider the Nakba to be the founding or the re-establishment of Israel because it was founded 3,000 years ago. It was occupied, talk about occupations, it was occupied by a series of different powers, first the Romans and the Byzantines, and then the Ottomans, and then the British, until the indigenous population, the true owners of the land, the Jews, got their land back, or part of it. But this to me is the real Nakba. The Nakba catastrophe is not that Israel was reestablished in 1948. The real Nakba is that Israel was not reestablished in 1928, just 20 years earlier. Let's imagine what the world would have been like if Israel had been reestablished in 1928. One effect is obvious, and that's 6 million Jews would not have died in concentration camps in Germany and Poland, because they would have had somewhere to go. They would have had Israel. Now, whether all 6 million of the Jews that were killed would have gone to Israel, there's no way to know. But if the choice had been between Germany and Poland and the Middle East, Israel, then the choice to me seems pretty obvious. I mean, another obvious choice would be the United States of America. It's a real black mark on our history that the St. Louis, boat carrying Jews fleeing Nazi Germany, FDR, Franklin Roosevelt, turned the ship back, would not let them land, and sent them back to Europe. That's why an independent and strong Israel is so important, because Jews like myself, at the end of the day, we have to depend on ourselves, and we don't want to depend on other people to protect us. I'm getting a little off track. What I wanted to, that many Jews would not have died. That's number one. Number two, the influx of that many Jews to what was then the Palestinian Mandate, the British Mandate, you would have had a completely different situation as far as establishing Israel goes, because the state would have already existed and you would have had a larger population, so much so that the Jews in the area would have outnumbered the Arabs by such a large amount that the argument regarding adding another Arab state to the over 20 that already exist would have been completely different. But here's what else would have been different that you should think about, and that is that during World War II, the Arabs sided with the Germans. They fought on the German side. By and large, I want to be fair, there was a Palestinian division of the British Army during the war there were about 3,500 Arabs serving in that division. The point I want to make is that if Israel had been reestablished in 1928, the Allies would have had an ally in the Middle East. You had all the Arab countries siding with Germany, but you would have had an Israel siding with the Allies, and they would have been right there in the Middle East. And if present history is any indication, I don't know how far you can project back, but had that been the case, you would have had a very effective Israeli army in the Middle East working with the Allies. That's just something to think about. So I guess this will be a short one today. I'm just going to leave it at that, but just think how different the world would have been if Israel had been established in 1928. A place for all the persecuted Jews of Europe to go, of Nazi Germany to go, number one, and number two, a strong Western-oriented ally in the Middle East fighting with the Allies against that very same Nazi Germany. And you can be sure that that Israeli army, if it existed at the time, given what the Nazis did, they would have fought very, very hard on the Allied side. So there you go, and that will be all the thoughts for today. I'll just leave you with those thoughts and look forward to seeing everybody again. As I said, thumbs up, share the video, and until next time, bye.